Well, it's been a couple months since we harvested this bow wood. I've split it into two separate halves, into two separate stave woods. I've selected the thicker crapper half of the wood to start making a bow with. Now I'm pretty far along into this bow. This is my experimental bow to figure out if this wood, how this wood's suitable, and the little things that I have to get right with this particular tree. It set up a huge amount of challenges for me. Unfortunately, this tree was very little. I should have harvested a bigger tree really, so it's got quite a high crown, and there wasn't a lot of heartwood, not a lot of that real dense nice wood that you want to make a bow out of. It's a lot of whitewood, and this has just meant that I've had to make a wide limb bow to give it enough strength to flex back and store energy. But because it's got a high crown on it, it really should be a thin limb bow. So I've got two opposing things that I have to work with, and I'm pretty sure it's going to lead to this bow breaking once I get to the stage of shooting it. We're just going through tillering at the moment, so we're just working off some of this wood with my rasp just to bring it down so I can start getting on the tillering board. But this is going to be my experiment. So I've got another half of wood that I'm going to completely film everything that I do with it, and this is just to show you that you can start to make a bow out of something that is pretty much crap wood, as you would say. And we'll see if it works. This is the good fun part about bow making. Even though there's a few hours in putting it together, if it breaks, you've learned a lot, and you can add that to your next bow. You can take those experiences and lessons onto that next stave that you've got. Right, so let's get back to work. I should also point out that I'm doing this with as few tools as possible. The idea of this bow was to see if I could make one with just some really basic tools that almost everyone would have, or they'd be really cheap to buy. So we're working off a wood rasp that cost 10 bucks from local budding shop, and we've got free wood from the forest, and we've also just got a simple clamp. And other than that, there was an axe. So this is going to take me longer than what it would be if I had a bandsaw or something like that to get the bow down to its proper shape. One of the other things that's important to remember is that you've got to follow the undulations of the wood. This is something I'm learning, is that it might feel like there's a dip somewhere here, but you'll find that the wood on the opposite side of that dip is actually thicker than the parts either side of it, meaning that your wood is naturally curving that way with the grain. And obviously if you then took out extra bits either side to counteract that dip, then these bits on the other side would be thinner than the bits in the middle, and you will have actually created dips as opposed to just working with that grain of wood. It's very interesting to do this with a natural bit of timber, because you are running into these sort of problems.